How did Minecraft ripoffs like Hytale, Blockman Go, and even Terraria reach a point where players started leaving? And it's not just these games, there's a lot more. So today, let's find out why so many Minecraft style games later failed. Starting with... Everyone has said Hytale is the Minecraft killer. That detail is important because it's what led to the game's downfall. Before Hytale, it all started with Hypixel, a Minecraft server that was created on April 13th, 2013 by Simon LaFlames and Philip Touche. The two made custom Minecraft adventure maps and uploaded it to their channel. Each time they made a new map or game mode, they focused on the experience and worked on it until it felt right. By putting a lot of passion into their creations, a lot of players really loved game modes like Paintball, Quakecraft, and Walls, just to name a few, leading Hypixel to not only be one of the most popular Minecraft servers, but it was also proof that players wanted a better experience than normal vanilla Minecraft. The success gave the idea that the team could build something bigger. So everything was going well for Simon and his partner in late 2014, even making an income from Hypixel to the things you can buy in the game that would help give an advantage. Unfortunately, 2015 changed everything. Mojang updated its EULA and restricted how servers could monetize. For Hypixel, this wiped most of their income. But instead of abandoning Hypixel, Simon continued to make the server better, but gave less focus to it. That change in focus is what pushed him to go from a server maker to something even better. It led him towards building a standalone game, that game being Hytale. Development began in 2015 with Simon pouring his full attention into the project. After years of work, his efforts were finally shown in 2018 when the trailer for Hytale dropped, reaching over 61 million views. Many popular YouTubers reacting to it, causing the game to get an insane amount of exposure.
And there's what is this? It's like it's from Zelda or something. Are these villagers? This looks nice though. Look at the detail.
Those animals actually look super dope. Like I don't know, I could see myself being even more attached to one of those as a pet.
Oh man, and we get backpacks in the
Wait,
actual
is that the
game.
Desert?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
I know, is this not the coolest thing ever?
Cool.
By November 2019, Hypixel Studios admitted publicly that the attention had created pressure they were not prepared for. Which is so true, people were expecting more than the game than ever before. So anxiety inside the studio grew, and the team became deeply aware that they only had one chance to meet the hype the game got. They've seen what happened to other overhyped games, and they did not want Hytale to launch unfinished. Then in 2020, Hypixel Studios was acquired by Riot Games, which gave the team more resources and more security. Even Simon, the one who started it all, gave the CEO position to his friend Noxy, a very respectable person who was as passionate on the project as Simon. With all of this happening, it made you feel like the game was finally moving towards a launch. So after some waiting, and some more waiting, next thing you know, it was 2021. The studio admitted that Hytale was still years away and that they no longer wanted to give release windows they could not meet. They explained that the game was being reworked to support multiple platforms, without splitting the player base, which they said required major engine changes. So at first the team shared news often, then they shared updates less and less. The hype that exploded in 2018 did not survive. In 2022, no launch. In 2023, no launch. By then, it was already 2025. Much of the community no longer believed the game would ever be released. Players grew older. Like, for example, I was in middle school when that trailer came out. And now I'm an adult in my 20s that has to pay rent. Come on, Hytale. On June 23rd, 2025, Hypixel Studios announced that Hytale was cancelled and that the studio itself would shut down the project. The reason was simple. After years of adapting and exploring every option, the team could not finish the game in a way that lived up to the promise the trailer created. But there is still some hope for the people that waited for this game. Since the project later returning to Simon, making it so Riot Games didn't own the game anymore, Simon, the person who started all of this thing, finally confirms a release date for Hytale. But one question remains unanswered. Could Hytale still live up to what people were told it would be? Blockman Go was created by Zhuhai Sandbox Network Technology, a Chinese company founded by Chen Weiming. Now, Chen's goal was not simply to make a game. He wanted players to make games, not just play them. So the whole project was built to help players do that. And mind you, this was not a small indie experiment like Simon's Hytale. Zhuhai Technology already had a lot of resources and of course a lot of money. But before Blockman Go existed, the company tested its idea through Blockman Multiplayer for Minecraft Pocket Edition. This app worked as a third-party launcher that made mobile multiplayer easier. It fixed some connection problems, but it still depended on Minecraft. And the company couldn't control how the game made money or how good it was. Because of that, they decided they needed something of their own, leading to November 29th, 2017. Blockman Go launched as a standalone platform on mobile, a game that no longer needed to be on Minecraft. So at first the game was great. Similar to the Hypixel server, players were not stuck playing just one game, and when they finished one mode, they could jump into another right away. YouTube helped the game grow even faster. People started making roleplay videos and short skits about the game, and some of these videos got millions of views because the game was free and could run on any phone, making it so anyone can play Blockman Go, causing it to get even more downloads than Minecraft Pocket Edition, garnering over 100 million downloads worldwide and obtaining a consistent player base. But then in 2022, Blockman Go was bought by Garena. Garena was a company already known for running large mobile titles like Free Fire, and players got immediately worried about how this would change the platform. After the takeover, players started to notice things changing. The menus looked different and felt strange to use. Updates felt random and hard to understand, because the team did not explain these changes. Not soon after, pay-to-win complaints came. Now players could spend real money to buy items that help them win matches. In competitive modes like Bed Wars, paying some money can give upgrades like the TNT, which gives you a better advantage than free-to-play players. Winning started to depend more on money than skill. Hacking became another big problem. Everyone started sharing stories about people cheating in matches. Many of them felt like the anti-cheat system was old and not being fixed. Over time, players stopped trusting that the game was fair. Because of these, many players stopped playing and just left the game. One video claims Blockman Go lost around 70% of its player base. LokiCraft was created by a developer known as Axino2, a name that shows up repeatedly across the game's listings but rarely anywhere else. When I try to learn who Axino2 really is, I hit a dead end. There is almost no public information about this dude. All that is known is that they seem to be based in Russia and have made several games that look like Minecraft. From the start, LokiCraft was only available on the Google Play Store, where it officially released on April 26, 2019. After downloading and playing LokiCraft, it was shocking. Taking a look at the hearts, hunger bar, and controls, it looked exactly the same as Minecraft Pocket Edition. Even mobs like the villagers looked the same with only small edits. Because of this, many players quickly began calling LokiCraft a flat-out copy instead of its own game. The problem grew worse as people noticed how the game was handled. LokiCraft showed pop-up ads during gameplay, often making you download other games made by the same developer. This pulled players out of the game and made it feel messy. As time went on, updates did not really change anything. The developer, known as Axino2, added to the controversy. There was almost no public information about who they were or how this game was made. I only found a name, an email, and a contact person listed on the Play Store. Axino2, like I hinted before, released many similar games built the same way. They reused the same parts in many different games. Because of that, LokiCraft felt like it could disappear at any time, Eventually, this is exactly what happened. LokiCraft was taken off the Google Play Store. When checking Xeno2's profile, he now only has one game. And guess what? It's the same reused Minecraft Pocket Edition app that he's been doing for all these years. Pixel Gun 3D first appeared on May 2nd, 2013. Early on, many players believed the game was made by a solo developer named Alex Krasnov, but that name was never a real person and instead belonged to the publishing account. In reality, Pixel Gun 3D was created by a small development team working together behind the scenes. When the game first launched in 2013, it was a simple first-person shooter where you played as Pixelman, also known as Newbie. And from there, you would fight a bunch of monsters in this small arena. You had only one weapon and a single goal: survive. Later that same year, new weapons and maps were added, and multiplayer slowly came, as well as an early story mode that followed Newbie waking up in a ruined world. From 2014 through 2017, the game expanded with new systems that still shape Pixel Gun 3D today. And the best part, Pixel Gun 3D was very community-based, where they would have events where you can submit gun ideas to the team and they would actually add it to the game. By 2018, the game shifted again with the introduction of Battle Royale. And they also added the Pixel Pass, which is kind of interesting. Over the following years, new campaign worlds, seasonal updates, and major events continued to give new experiences, leading to the game's 10th anniversary in 2023. Now, a huge part of Pixel Gun 3D's popularity came from when it released, because it was one of the only block-style first-person shooters that let players fight each other online on mobile. YouTube also played a massive role in spreading it, especially through creators like FGTV, whose videos showed them casually playing the game. And an iconic moment I can never forget is when Mike spent $100 on the game.
Okay guys, I just found out the password to App Store, so I just spent $100.
Other creators such as Exotic Gaming focused more on weapon showcases and updates, helping me at the time understand new gear and mechanics as the game grew. Over time, Pixel Gun YouTube split into two very different sides. On one side were casual players who bought expensive weapons to win matches, while on the other side were highly competitive players like Esoteric Inc., who became known for his advanced techniques such as the category spam. And I personally watched him. Now, these videos got a ton of views. This attention helped push the game to massive numbers, with hundreds of monthly players playing the game. And it's been stated that the game had made $200 million. But that growth also came with some serious problems. If you played a lot of Pixel Gun 3D, you would know the mode Sandbox. And in Sandbox, it included weird role-playing, which is kind of concerning because at the time many people were young and there was little to almost no moderation. Personally, as a young kid, there was a chat system in the game, and combine that with Sandbox, you could have easily gotten a girlfriend or boyfriend. Very easily. Like, I was a player. I was dating like 100 girls in one sitting that may or may not have been 30-year-old dudes with a girl skin. But hey man, game is game. At the same time, many people hated the pay-to-win aspects of the game, because in Pixel Gun 3D, premium weapons, gems, and upgrades gave a clear advantage, especially in competitive modes, while people who were free to play had to go through exhausting grinds. Pixel Gun 3D was one of those games I put so much time into, and back then it was the first game I spent money on, just to unlock a single powerful weapon called the Anti-Champion Rifle, which was meta, only for level increases and balance changes to make that weapon nearly useless later on. On PC, those complaints became even louder, with Steam discussions describing how strong gear felt locked behind spending money, leading to backlash and asking developers to rebalance the game. The pay-to-win aspect was a big problem. By the later years, many players were upset, including me. The game that cared about its community now only cared about money. What once felt special from many of our childhood now felt like work to just keep up with the meta of guns constantly being added. causing the game to slowly lose players, until the end where Pixel Gun 3D lost almost all of its original audience. Crafting and Building was created by a developer named Genre and released on the Google Play Store in January of 2020. What makes Crafting and Building strange right away is that there is almost no clear information about who Genre actually is. There is no developer website and no studio history tied to the game. While researching this, I came across a Reddit post claiming that the game was originally called Explore, and that it had been sued by Mojang. But despite those claims being repeated by players, I couldn't find any official court records or sources that confirm this ever happened. What can be confirmed is that over time, the game ended up being published under Proton Mobile, which suggests that whatever this game was early on, it eventually became something even bigger than a small indie person that's doing this. When logging into Crafting and Building, much like LokiCraft, there is no real attempt to introduce new mechanics or anything like that. You load into a grassy world, you break blocks, you craft tools, and the only difference was the textures. Even the menus and movement felt the same. But unlike LokiCraft, players can create a Crafting and Building account by entering an email address and phone number, and once logged in, they were able to join friend servers inside the game. At the same time, I noticed this. The interface saying a friend is playing Minecraft, which makes it confusing about where the game draws its system from. On top of that, there are public servers available, including modes like CubeCraft and multiple other games. In one example, players are shown joining a Bed Wars match, playing it exactly as they would in Minecraft. Except these servers are unstable. You are very likely to disconnect, very common. Despite those problems, the game managed to become massively popular, surpassing 100 million downloads on the Play Store. That level of reach explains why it stayed alive for so long and why updates kept coming. However, there's a bigger problem than servers being unstable, and that this is a game that has stolen assets from Minecraft. Also, Crafting and Building shows ads all the time. The game stops you in the middle of playing to show them. A lot of people gave reviews that the ads got longer and showed up more often. Surprisingly, the game offers a no ads option, but it does not really remove ads. It only hides them while you are playing in a server, and still shows ads in the menu. Because of this, the game keeps pushing ads no matter what you choose. In the end, Crafting and Building copies how Minecraft looks and plays, but doesn't add much of its own thing. And what's even worse is that whoever is running the game is monetizing off of it, spamming ads. Danger Zone did not start as a game idea. It first started as a problem Richard Clark could not stop thinking about. Richard, also known as They Call Me Danger, was a software engineer in his 50s who liked building things in his spare time. He played Minecraft for the Sun and eventually started modifying the game so they would have more to do together. That project became a mod called Orespawn, which was famous because the mod was insane. So Orespawn grew faster than Richard expected. As more players downloaded it and YouTubers began using it in videos, the project stopped feeling small. What used to be something he worked on in his free time was now part of something even bigger. But in late 2014, Microsoft announced that it was buying Minecraft. After that announcement, Richard started reading the Minecraft EULA, line by line. The more he read, the more uncomfortable he became. He felt that anything made in Minecraft could be taken or changed without asking him. Because of this, Richard faced a choice. He could continue developing a mod that depended entirely on a platform he did not control, or he could rebuild everything on his own terms. And wouldn't you know it, he chose the second option. Richard stopped updating Orespawn and announced a new project called Danger Zone. This time, it would not be a mod, it would be a game. By doing this, he would own the engine and the future of the project. From Richard's point of view, Danger Zone solved the problem he was worried about. There was no EULA above him and no company that could change the rules. The idea was to take everything Orspawn was known for, which includes massive creatures, powerful weapons, strange dimensions, and place them into a new block-based RPG where he had full creative control. As the development of Danger Zone continued, Richard talked about features that went beyond what Orspawn could do inside Minecraft. He also experimented with 3D mode and VR mode that players could switch between in the settings. In early showcase videos, Richard showed features that were completely new rather than straight out of Orspawn. What he did is he showed off different weapons that had never existed before, including a rocket launcher called Alice, and he also explained that Danger Zone contained multiple different dimensions that you could travel between. To close out one of those videos, he spawned large numbers of Mobzilla bosses at once, showing the insane features Orspawn was famous for. Later footage focused on the VR side of the project, where he showcased the new weapons and new mobs with VR. Even though there was a lot of hope for it, a big problem showed up very fast. Not many players moved over to Danger Zone. Most people who loved Orspawn just stayed in Minecraft, because that was where their worlds and servers were. Because of that, Danger Zone never became the main game people played. It stayed small and easy to ignore. People did not want a replacement for Minecraft. They wanted Orspawn inside Minecraft. As no one was interested in the game, updates stopped. Danger Zone also did not get much attention online. Big YouTube series never formed around it, causing Richard to publicly step away from both Danger Zone and Orspawn. Eventually, the demo version was removed from Steam, making Danger Zone pretty much unplayable nowadays. In the end, it was not just Danger Zone that got affected by Richard's poor decision, but as well as Orspawn, which means one of the most famous Minecraft mods no longer has an official version you can download. During the late 2010s, FortressCraft started with a programmer named Adam DJ Arcus Sawkins. Adam taught himself how to make games and was not trying to copy Minecraft at first. Before FortressCraft, he was working on another block game called Diggers. While working on it, he learned how to use voxel blocks in a way that could run on consoles, mainly being the Xbox 360. At the time, many people believed games like Minecraft could not work on that system at all. But the thing is, Adam had worked at other game studios before, but FortressCraft became a personal challenge for him. People on Minecraft forums told him that a sandbox game like Minecraft could never run on Xbox. But instead of agreeing, he decided to prove them wrong. He built a working version of FortressCraft in just a few days to show it was possible. While Minecraft did inspire the idea, FortressCraft was also shaped by older games like Infiniminer. So FortressCraft launched on Xbox Live Indie Games on April 8, 2011. On the release date, no official Xbox version of Minecraft was out yet. Many console players had only seen Minecraft on YouTube and had no way to play something like it themselves. FortressCraft filled that gap in the market by offering block building survival games that actually worked on Xbox. Because the game launched on Xbox Live Indie Games, Adam did not need a big publisher. This made it easier for the game to release and spread, including word of mouth, which helped it grow a ton. During this time, YouTuber Keemstar actually talked to Adam and helped promote the game. Keemstar already had an audience, so his videos brought FortressCraft to people who were not looking through indie game stores. The attention caused the game to be a major success. FortressCraft was reported to sell tens of thousands of copies in its first day. It became one of the top selling games on Xbox Live Indie Games and made millions of dollars over time. On release day, it even appeared near the top of Xbox download charts in several regions. Keemstar luckily played a major role in promoting the game, and allegedly was told to make millions off the game. As more people played, many players debated whether FortressCraft was a Minecraft clone, which is very helpful because it had many people talking about the game. Adam in an interview said the game was not a clone and pointed out that Minecraft was inspired by earlier games too. Even Keemstar went on a rant about the controversy with FortressCraft. defending that it's not a clone. Still, the comparison between the two games never stopped. Some reviews I found gave positive feedbacks on Fortresscraft for running well on Xbox. Others criticized its visuals and simple animation. But then everything changed when Minecraft finally released on Xbox. The main reason many players bought Fortresscraft was gone. You can now play the real Minecraft on console. As Minecraft received updates, Fortress began to feel smaller and more glitchy in comparison between the two. Being called a Minecraft clone helped Fortresscraft get the attention, but over time people were like, why not just play the real thing? Sadly, Fortresscraft did not have the same amount of detail as Minecraft, and when Xbox Live indie games shut down, Fortresscraft also lost its place for new players to discover it. And what's even sadder is that later versions on PC tried to bring interest back, but the new games couldn't recreate the same success as the first one did. Infiniminer was a small sandbox game about digging and placing blocks. You would mine ore and build structures in a world made entirely of cubes. The game was made by Zachary Zach Barth. With the help of his friend Chris, Infiniminer was released in early 2009, getting small updates instead of this one big launch. You were placed underground and split into two teams. The game has one simple goal. Each team tried to collect more minerals than the other. But the thing is, no one cared about that. Instead, they focused on digging tunnels and building things, just to see what they could make. This showed that giving players freedoms with blocks could be fun on its own. Since Infiniminer was free to download on PC, it was easy for people to try. Anyone could play without paying or signing up. So people began sharing screenshots and stories on forums. Even though the game was simple, many talked about it because it felt new. During 2009, very few games were built fully around blocks. Zach had already been making games for years. He was also studying computers in school while working on his own projects. His experience helped shape Infiniminer into something different. By adding mining and digging, this is a new experience for people. Unlike the majority of the games in this list, Infiniminer did not grow because of ads or trailers. It spread because players were just curious. They shared it with friends and talked about it online, causing other game developers to notice it too. One game developer took great interest in the game. When he played it, he saw something special hiding inside a very simple game. He noticed that digging and placing blocks felt fun, even without a big goal telling players what to do. That idea stayed in his head after he stopped playing. Soon after, he got inspired and went home and started building his own block game on his own computer in his spare time. He even worked on it late at night. At first, the game looked almost the same as Infiniminer. He admitted that his early version was basically a ripoff. He wasn't trying to hide that. He was just trying to understand why the idea worked. So after countless nights spending on this project, he began adding his own ideas. And wouldn't you know, over time, that project became Minecraft, a game that would change how millions of people play and create. That early Minecraft version did not stay as an Infiniminer ripoff, since Marcus Persson, who most players would later know as Notch, added his own ideas. So Minecraft kept growing by adding new systems over time. It added crafting, new enemies, and ways to progress the game. But Infiniminer did not change much. Because of that, Minecraft quickly became bigger, while Infiniminer just stayed small. Sadly, less than a month after release, Zach stopped working on it. One reason was that the game's code was open and easy to copy. Another reason was money. Infiniminer was free and no profit. There was no strong reason to keep updating it long term. At the same time, Minecraft was growing fast and getting new updates often. In the end, Infiniminer did not disappear because it was bad. Its biggest impact was not what it became, but what it inspired. Terraria was made by a small team called Relogic. The project was led by a developer named Andrew Spinks, who many know as Redigit. Development started in early 2011, at a time when sandbox games were becoming very popular. From the beginning, the goal was not to make a calm building game. The team wanted a game where exploring and fighting were just as important as digging and crafting. Terraria was built as a 2D side-scrolling game instead of a 3D block world. This choice changed how the game felt. Combat was a little bit easier to control, and overall gave a new experience. The thing with Terraria, it focused more on action and progress instead of creativity. When Terraria launched on Steam on May 16th, 2011, a lot of people at the time were already pretty interested in sandbox games. Like, for example, Minecraft was very popular at that time, and everyone were looking for games that felt similar. Terraria caught their attention. Many people liked that the fighting was a big part of the game, as well as collecting armor and weapons. Boss fights were a part of that fighting system, which made Terraria feel more RPG-like than most sandbox games. So, Terraria spread fast on Steam. A lot of people bought it because people wanted to play with their friends. And there was so much to do. Terraria rewards you as you explore more. YouTube, as like anything on this list, helped it grow. Videos showed hard boss fights and late game gear, making it so in just 1 week, Terraria sold over 200,000 copies. Sadly, early on, there was a lot of online debates that Terraria was a 2D Minecraft clone. This started a lot of arguments online. The games were fairly similar because both let players break blocks and collect materials, and just those facts alone were enough to call Terraria a Minecraft clone. But fans of Terraria did not agree. They pointed out that the game played very differently once you actually spent time with it. And like I've said before, fighting was a much bigger focus. And getting stronger gear mattered more than building large structures. Boss fights played a major role too on the difference, giving Terraria a more linear gameplay instead of doing whatever you want. But even with those differences, Terraria being called a clone stuck around. Minecraft was already huge, so many used it as a way to describe any block game. Except over time, Terraria proved it was its own game. Terraria didn't have a downfall or go away. Instead, it stayed alive. After looking at all of these games, one thing is clear. Calling everything a Minecraft ripoff misses the point. Some games really did copy Minecraft, like LokiCraft and Crafting and Building. But for many, those games were the only option. Not everyone could afford Minecraft. So they played what they had. For them, those games still mattered. If someone enjoys a game, that's enough. Let people play what they want. You gotta stop calling these Minecraft ripoffs. What really matters is why players stayed or left. Games that listened to the community and respected their time lasted longer. But games that pushed money too hard caused their downfalls. In most cases, people did not leave because a game was inspired by Minecraft. They left because the game stopped feeling fair or fun. But yeah guys, that's it for this video. If you like this video, you'll love this one. I'll see you there. Peace.